What is up, guys? It's me, the ALE Double X Prince. Not my usual location. I'm actually in my kitchen just eating dinner because I just got out of work and I'm just tired, but not that tired enough to make a video for you guys. So, I decided to do a fun, creative video, like just for the hell of it. After the releases of the Iconics and Samoa Joe and all those people, I decided like a lot of people are immediately going to they're going to AEW. Like Peyton Royce makes sense. She's married to Shawn Spears. I can see her going. Samoa Joe, depending on where he is, I could honestly see Samoa Joe coming back to WWE. But as far as AEW's roster, they need to clean it out. Like, let's clean out the AEW roster. Now, as of recording, I have a lot of people like on this list. Like, I'm just going through the whole roster and just like seeing whether or not they should like get out of the company or whatever. But AEW needs to clean out their roster. They have a lot of people, and some of them are not even done. I'm excluding people from NWA and New Japan Pro Wrestling because I think they're only exclusive for once in a while. I'm only counting people who are physically in the roster, like no Impact, no NWA, no New Japan, none of those guys or gals, whatever. So you won't see people like Thunder Rosa or Kenta or anything like that because I mean, to be fair, they should be hired. Honestly, those people are fucking money makers. But right off the bat, let's get rid of Aaron Solo. He is Aaron Solo of the Factory. I don't know who this guy is. He looks bland as fuck. I don't even know how he even got hired. But apparently, like I'm gonna just go through the whole Factory. So Aaron Solo, Anthony Ogogo. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people's names? Was there somebody else on the on trying to find it? I thought there was somebody else on this team, but Nick Camaroto. Yeah, that person's got to go. Um, yeah, that person's got to go. Like all three of those people, yeah, just get rid of them. Uh, they look bland, they look generic, they bring nothing to the table. Like some people are meant to be jobbers, some people are meant to be just there to make other people look better. And honestly, these guys are barely even on TV. I didn't even know these people even existed. So honestly, just get rid of these guys. Who cares? Like toss them out. Hangman Adam Page. I think this is an obvious one. Keep him. He's one of the hottest faces of AEW right now. I'd keep him. It's kind of impossible to not get rid of him. Now, the next person is Alan Angels of the Dark Order, number 5. I don't think they should get rid of everybody from the Dark Order because I think the Dark Order they still have trouble finding themselves. They could do something with these guys. Obviously, turning baby faces and having Adam Page join them is a great call, but some of them have got to go. Alan Angels, I never saw anything of this guy, so I just eliminate him. Now, Jon Silver and Alex Reynolds are also in the Dark Order, but they're entertaining, they're funny, they could lose and still look strong. So I'd keep those guys because at least those guys are entertaining. They're a pretty solid tag team in the Dark Order, so that's great. Angelico and Jack Evans from Hybrid 2. I am so disappointed that they are doing nothing with these guys because these guys were awesome at one point. Now, rumor has it that Angelico is a bit of a dick, or Jack Evans. I don't know which one, but that's part of the reason why they're not getting TV time. If that's the case, just get rid of them. There's no reason to keep people if they're assholes. But I do like these guys. Like excluding the asshole part, these guys are great. These guys are super entertaining. Obviously, I'm a massive Lucha Underground fan, so I really like them. I'd keep them, but I'd bring them to TV. They are worth it. They're very entertaining. They look like. Matter of fact, in the very first episode of Dynamite, they interacted with Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, 2 celebrities, not big celebrities, but celebrities nonetheless. So clearly, they had high hopes for these guys at the beginning. Then it just kind of like went downhill. Anthony Bowens from the Acclaim. Okay, I'm gonna go through everybody from the Acclaim and just basically say that yeah, they gotta go. I know that they're trying to build up QT Marshall, but let's just because you're friends with Cody Rhodes doesn't make you the top player. You're just that just makes you a dumbass, like because all you're saying is, oh, as long as you're part of a freaking stable from somebody that kind of likes you, keep him. Like no, fuck fuck that mentality. Like I don't like that. So I'd have to say, yeah, everybody from the Acclaimed. I'm too lazy to go through all of them, but I'd get rid of the Acclaimed. Like they look generic as fuck. QT Marshall. If they got rid of the Natural Nightmares, then just eliminate QT Marshall. Like I'm sorry, QT Marshall. He could be a manager. He actually has the look of a manager, but I don't really dig him that much. I really don't like keep him as a manager, but everybody from the Acclaim, just get rid of them. They're generic as fuck. Who would I would have QT Marshall manage? I don't know, but there is he could do something with somebody. I don't know who, but at least manage one person, not a whole group. I don't think he's ready for that. Um, Austin Gunn. Uh, so he's really only there because he's Billy Gunn's kid, I believe. So, okay, I know he sucks, but I understand why they do keep him. And from time to time, they do bring him on TV. But if they're gonna keep him, at least develop him. Because where else is he gonna go? Like at least train him. Like, cause look at Dominic Mysterio. He doesn't wrestle all the time, but when he does, it's like he's still learning some moves, and that's how you get better by standing out there and moving around and shit. This is weird, but Mr. Brody Lee is still on the roster. Now I know his son has a contract, but yeah, Mr. Brody Lee, like rest in peace to the guy. But it's a little bit weird to have him on the roster, so I'll just go past that. Brandon Cutler, like this is the definition of a jobber, and I actually do think we should keep him as a jobber because some people are just meant to be jobbers. The Repo Man, Kurt Hawkins, those guys were great. We need these kind of jobbers, so I'd keep him and just make other people look strong. All right. Brian Cage from Team Taz. I didn't like that they built this up right away from the beginning. Like they try to build him up as the top player of AEW. Like when they brought him, he won the big chip at Double or Nothing. Then he got a world title shot on free TV, and then he kind of went directionless. I'm glad that they're not doing that anymore. That was so fucking stupid. I hate when they do dumb shit like that. But I do like Brian Cage. His work in Lucha Underground was great. He works good as a natural baby face that just wrecks shit, but I think based on the character that he is, I think he works great as a heel. And thankfully, he has Taz with him. I love Team Taz. These guys, they just look like beat up, like guys that like are like tough to beat. And as soon as they get a couple more victories, because they're good and they could still process because they got Taz with them. Taz is an expert at this shit. So I wouldn't like stress about like their win loss records because AEW, regardless or not, their win and loss record don't mean shit. FTR, aka the Pinnacle, Cash Wheeler, and I forgot the other one's name. Dax Hardwood, was it? Yeah, yeah, Cash Wheeler and Dax Hardwood. They're great. They deserve to be in the tag team division. I don't like when they lose the belts and then they went directionless. Like at least they're part of the Pinnacle, but they should be going for the tag team belts whether or not they're with the Pinnacle or not. These guys are tag team material. Like people complain that they didn't do shit with them in WWE. They tried to put the belts on them. It's just they just didn't know how to keep them relevant or give them a chance to shine as much as they should have. That was the big problem with the revival in WWE. The problem with FTR is that once they lose the belts, they just kind of go directions. And I'm seeing that recently, like they're doing one-on-one matches. Like they're not really doing tag team matches, which is weird. But yeah, these guys should still be in the tag team division. Why do they have to lose the belts and then go all the way back down, then work your way back all the way from the fucking beginning? Like that's not fair. At least if you don't want to give them the title shot right away, at least work around it in a way that makes sense instead of just nope, we're not doing it. Ugh. Chris Jericho, the demo god. So Chris Jericho is honestly the best thing you guys got right now. As far as star rating, like as a big main event star, Chris Jericho is the best you got. He's done some phenomenal work um, as a baby face with Mike Tyson. I thought it wasn't gonna work, but it works. Chris Jericho is just a good babyface and a good heel, so I'm glad that he is able to change up his character when he needs to. That's what makes him a superstar. And I kind of wish that people listen more to Chris Jericho, not as a politician, because fuck no, this guy sucks at politics, but just as a guy who knows the business well. And I'm glad that Jericho's out there doing this. Without Jericho, there is no AEW, whether you like it or not. So yeah, keep Chris Jericho because he's money. Christian Cage, I like him a lot. It's weird seeing him like trying to be the one of the biggest signings ever. It's cool that he's back to wrestle because the guy is awesome. He is one of the best out there. Yeah, it's a little bit weird the way they push him because I guarantee you if they had John Cena, Batista, everybody from the Ruthless Aggression era, basically, Christian would have been an afterthought. Um, but I'm glad that they are pushing him the way he is. But just don't get cocky with the fact that you guys got Christian Cage. Just do not do that. Just make him be a natural face, and trust me, it'll work. Christopher Daniels. I'll just do the SCU once and for good. Um, So Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. All three of them are fantastic in their own way. It's just weird that they're kind of trying to split them up, but they're still a faction. I just keep them together. You could do single stuff from time to time, but to the point where you completely separate them too much, it's just weird. Because there's times where I remember at All Out, the match was the Natural Nightmares, Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona, and Scorpio Sky. What were Daniels and Kazarian doing? They were part of that dumbass battle royal that led to nothing. Because it was just weird separating all three of them like that. You could still work them together. If anything, I would have done the Natural Nightmares and SCU versus the Dark Order, all three members, and then maybe if you want to split them up, then you could work around it. Instead, it's just kind of just did it at least with Big E when he split from the New Day, it made sense. They got drafted or they got injured, stuff like that. But they just lazily just changed them into single stars, and it makes me not like them when they do that. Like if they want to separate them, I'm all for it. Just tell us why they got separated. Uh, Chuck Taylor. I'll just do Chuck Taylor and the best friends. I'll save Orange Cassidy, but Trent and Chuck Taylor, they're good, but they're one of the few people that were talking shit about the Undertaker, saying that the business is soft. That is so stupid of them. Um, they're a good tag team. They had great matches with LAX. They were great in New Japan. They're a good tag team. I like them. Just calm your tits when you are talking shit on the internet. Austin Gunn. Colton Gunn, I don't know who this is. I know he's related to Billy Gunn. I don't know who's the son and who's who, but yeah, these guys need some work. I honestly just keep them developmental until they actually get their shit done. I know I said put them on TV and make them get better, but if they're really not gonna work well, then just yeah, just don't worry about it. Ooh, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Now, I think Cody Rhodes is a talented wrestler, but The guy is gotta stop taking shots at the WWE. It was cool. It made sense why he did what he did at Double or Nothing when he broke Triple H's throne, because part of the reason why I understand why he did it is because, one, it's to get the idea that we don't care that WWE is taking over, and that we have at the Hall of Fame they did call him out, so it makes sense why they did this. But now he's just constantly over and over, and he just starts to become a fucking asshole. Like, and he's just annoying. Like, and it really hurts these guys' ability to be likable. There's a reason why I stopped watching AEWs, because guys like Cody Rhodes just acting like they're the shit, and you're not. Like, yes, you're the executive vice president, but overall, you're just a fucking asshole. Like, just talking shit. Like, you're worse than Tony Khan. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Yeah, Cody Rhodes. I'm glad that he's doing work in the mid card division. I know down the road he's gonna work his way back up to the world title picture, but I guess they're just afraid to turn him heel. Which is honestly the best thing you could do. It's kind of like Seth Rollins. You have no choice but to turn him heel. Otherwise, you're screwed with the guy, and then he won't get over. That's just my personal opinion. And if you watch the Go Big show, you could tell that Cody is kind of a dick, and on the show he was kind of an asshole, and it's fine. Just it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just like own up to like who you are and try to benefit from this. Colt Cabana, I never understood why people like him, but he is over. He is popular, so I understand why they would keep him. It's weird seeing him in the Dark Order just because like he was directionless and Brody Lee kind of took him over. I have suggested that he went to Impact Wrestling, but I could see him sticking around if they book him a little bit more serious, I could say. Not necessarily like take off the boom boom parts and all the stuff that made him great, but you could work around it. Uh, Dante Martian of Top Flight, or Angel Dorado, whatever the hell his name is. He looks bland as fuck. I don't know what the hell. Airwolf Darius Martin is right next to him. I guess they're both from Top Flight. I don't know what this tag team is. I don't know what they are. Get rid of them. Just clean out the mess, or do a developmental. AEW can use a developmental of doing like, I know they have AEW Dark, but no one watches it. But do something with guys that will help out them. Because think about it, if you're gonna flood this roster with NWA, Impact, and New Japan Pro Wrestlers, then these guys are honestly irrelevant. Just get rid of them. They look useless. Now, one guy who is not useless is Darby Allen. Holy shit, this is one of my favorite wrestlers today. Darby Allen has a cool look. He has good music. He has a cool character. His wrestling ability is insane. And he's the TNT champion, rightfully deserved. Like, he is one of the first few people in AEW who naturally got over with the fans. And I like him, and I'm excited to see what he does next. I'm thinking he's gonna face Lance Archer at Double or Nothing for the championship, and I'm all for it. Honestly, Lance Archer could use a match with Darby Allen, because that will help benefit both men. And he's one of the few guys that could lose and still look like a badass. So props to Darby Allen. Not a lot of guys can do that. So Darby Allen is honestly my favorite part of AEW right now. Dustin Rhodes, I think it's time to hang up the boots. I'm sorry, Goldust, we love you, but what is there left to do? Unless you want to form a tag team with Cody, there's really nothing for you anymore. Like, you left the Natural Nightmares. There's no reason to stick around as much. Yeah. I'm sorry, but sometimes you just gotta hang up the boots and be brutally honest. I know you're Cody's bro, but honestly, just stay in developmental, help train these guys. Like, just, I don't know, just stop wrestling. Not that you're not that he ain't got it. It's just that there's nothing for him to really do as far as like story wise. Like, what is there? What story is there left for Goldust to tell? Really, what is there? Eddie Kingston, another guy who got naturally over. I love this guy's promos. This guy, when I saw this guy come up and cut those awesome promos with Jon Moxley, I started Googling some of his work. And one of my favorite ones is the one that he's like, I'm tired of making stars, where he attacks Ilya Dragunov. And he talks about the entire roster of NXT and AEW, talking shit about them. This guy is fantastic in the mic. Wrestling wise, he is good. He definitely wrestles a lot different than most people, but he is what he is, and I like that he's not the grapple guy. He's just a brawler, and it's good. We need some brawlers, and he's different. So that I will say is great. I think he's done with the Butcher and the Blade and the Death Triangle faction, which is good. He doesn't need it, and the way he came back as a babyface is awesome. So props to Eddie Kingston for making himself a top main event player just by simply being himself. So awesome for guys like that. Ethan Page, all ego, Ethan Page. You already know I don't like this guy. He is a typical indie guy that's never gonna get over. I'm sorry, that's just the honest truth. Maybe he could prove me wrong 5-10 years from now. If anything, QT Marshall should manage this guy, and then both could work a way to get themselves over. If that was the case, no, instead of just doing all these jobbers that are pointless and generic. And I hope that this that they brought Ethan Page to be a solid mid-carder at best. But come on, like overall, I think the guy is he needs some work done if he's gonna stick around. I can see why people like him, but for me, it's just like, he's whatever to me. Evil Uno, this guy looks cool, but he can't wrestle for shit. That's the honest truth. Evil Uno can't wrestle for shit. He was a great talking piece before Brody Lee showed up for the Dark Order. I'd keep him as a manager. And he could be like Vampiro was to Prince Puma in Lucha Underground, where he's helping a babyface mid-carder, but at the end he gets screwed. They could do a storyline like that, and I would be invested. Do Evil Uno and Hangman Page, where they're helping each other out, but then twist, they turn on him. That could be a great story to tell. I know it's a recycled storyline, but I mean, who's really gonna give a shit if it's good storytelling? So, and yeah, keep him as a manager. He's great. He has a cool presence. So, and the mask is pretty badass. So I'd keep him as a manager. There's no reason to make him too much of a freaking fighter, like in-ring competitor. He's not that great. Isaiah Cassidy from Private Party. What's the other guy named? Mark Quinn. I don't like these guys. I know they have a following. Fine. I get it. I've seen them work on Impact. They work perfect on Impact Wrestling. Here it's just like, I'm sorry and forgive me for what I'm about to say, but they're basically the Street Profits. Same look. They come in cups, drinking cups. They just look like a parody of the Street Profits, and I just don't like these guys. They're literally smaller versions of the Street Profits. I'm sorry if it's gonna be, if some people think that's me being racist or anything. I'm not. I'm just seeing what I see, and I just don't like these guys. They don't stick out differently from other tag teams. And yeah, I get it. They beat the Young Bucks. That was a cool moment, but where did that lead to? Exactly nothing. I already did Jack Evans with a hybrid too. Jake Hager, from the Inner Circle. So Jack Swagger was a former world heavyweight champion, and yeah, I just do not. I don't know why I never liked this guy. I remember I rewatched my review of the very first episode of Dynamite, and I've suggested that instead of Jake Hager, it should have been Wade Barrett. It made sense, considering this could have been the perfect way to bring back Stu Bennett, but he's in NXT. And Jake Hager, honestly, he's a great MMA fighter. I've seen his work in the MMA. He's fantastic. I'd stick to the MMA. You're not just meant for wrestling, and that's okay. That is okay. Like, CM Punk was not meant for the UFC, and Jake Hager's just not meant for professional wrestling, but he's fantastic in the MMA. So I just stick to the MMA. I get that he's currently in a storyline with the Inner Circle versus the the faction. What's the faction name? The Pinnacle. But honestly, it's time to split up the Inner Circle and they all go their separate ways. Starting with Jake Hager, you should go to MMA. There's no where else is he gonna really do like outside of just jobbing out to all the mid carders and stuff like that. Yeah, just go to MMA. I don't hate you in the Inner Circle. It's just what's there left to do? Joey Janella. Now I really like this guy. A lot of people hate this guy. If you guys watched this match with Jon Moxley, it was incredible. He's not meant to be a guy who is being taken serious. He's just fun and entertaining, something different. So I'd keep him, and he's another guy that I could see make other people look strong. So I don't know, I don't see the hate. Like I don't get the hate that most people do. So that's just me. I already did Jon Silver. He's super entertaining, super funny, super entertaining, and he's a good wrestler, and he gets over with the crowd. So I like him. Keep him with Alex Reynolds. Jon Moxley is next. Jesus Christ, how much has he changed? Like he's done so much better work here than he has in all of WWE. Yes, he was part of the Shield, but everybody knows that he was the lesser of the Shield. His work in AEW has been great, and I like that he doesn't call out WWE like everybody else does. He just does his own thing and does it because he loves it, not because of you know oh, I want to give the middle finger to WWE. Yes, they screwed me over, but I want to be my own person. So I like that person. I like that AEW wrestlers are doing that, the smarter ones. So Jon Moxley, he's done his work. He's done everything great. He can still do a lot more, and I can't wait to see what he does next. So yay for Jon Moxley. Keep him. Jungle Boy from Jurassic Express. I'll just go through all of them. Luchasaurus, and I forgot the other guy's name. Marco Stunt. Now, Marco Stunt is at this point a manager. He's pretty lame in the ring, so yeah, get rid of him. Well, not get rid of Marco Stunt, just don't get him in the ring. But Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, they're doing their best work. They are meant to be in the tag team title picture. Honestly, I've suggested why don't they do like a three-way with Young Bucks, Jurassic Express, and FTR? That would be a fantastic match, bar none. Yeah, but they don't do that. And that could be a great ladder match too. So, and Jungle Boy, honestly, when they win the belt, I'm calling it. They're gonna have custom-made belts. They're gonna be like jungle, like made out of grass and like all this shit that you normally see in a jungle. So I can't wait for those guys to win the belt. Kenny Omega, the best member of the elite. You could say that. He's probably the most over guy in the elite. He got naturally over back in New Japan, but part of what made him work in New Japan is that he wasn't writing for himself. And the guy is shitty at creating shit. Like his segments with Don Callis have been immensely bad. He single handedly killed the women's division. I'll get to the women separately after I get to all the dudes. But as far as a wrestler, as far as a promo is, as far as entertainment, as far as everything else, Kenny Omega is got it. There's a reason why he is the AEW World Champion, and rightfully so. And I like the work that Kenny Omega is doing as a workhorse champion, not necessarily a creative mind. He kind of fucking sucks at that. That's just my honest opinion. But Kenny Omega is great. We all love Kenny Omega, except Jim Cornette, of course. So yeah, Kip Sapien. He's essentially Mike Kanellis, as much as people hate to admit it. Uh, I guess at this point nobody really likes him, but he does stand out. And at this point, it would be weird to fire him unless you send him an Impact. But yeah, if you make him a jobber or if you write him off TV, there's a best way to do it. But for the most part, he has had so much TV time that it'll be weird to fire this guy. So I'd keep him, but just don't like shove these shitty segments down our throats with him and his wife, whatever. Lance Archer, I love Lance Archer. Now, I did not know this, but he was originally with Kurt Hawkins back in WWE. It was him and Kurt Hawkins. They were a tag team, but then they switched it to Tyler Rax when this guy got fired. And I could see why. He was pretty bland and kind of lame, but over the years he got better. He improved. He improved on his work, and I like Lance Archer. His work with Jake the Snake Roberts alone is great. I didn't like that he jobbed out to Cody. That really broke him down. But based on the story that they're doing with Darby and him, I guarantee you he's going to be the next TNT champion, and I'm excited for that because it's right that they're doing this. Like 1 year later, he got screwed over. 1 year later, he redeems himself. That is the perfect story. So I'm glad that they're building him back up to a top level talent. Don't He's the type of guy that's a good like just person to be beating up people. He doesn't need to really go for belts, but if he's gonna have to go for a belt, might as well be this one, right? Lee Johnson. I don't know who this is. Nightmare Family. I don't know who they are. Get rid of him. Looks bland. He looks like a jobber. Don't like him. Ew. Luther. I never liked Luther. Like, god damn it. He looks fucking weird. It's just like an old ass man with red dots painting in his face. He looks fucking weird. Like he looks like a old ass character that WCW created, but it fucking sucks. So yeah, get rid of Luther. Like I don't know what the hell. Like I know he's Jericho's friend, but I don't give a shit. Get rid of him. Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's luckily gotten better because he was honestly pretty bad in AEW since his arrival, but that's no fault of his. There wasn't a crowd to get him over necessarily, so I could see him struggling. But Matt Hardy, his work has been pretty decent right now. He does need some work. I kind of wish Jeff Hardy got out of WWE so he could come with and inform the Hardy Boys that on AEW. Trust me, you want to do that. Trust me, that is gonna make everything change. So hopefully we go back to Broken Matt. Big Money Matt is good, but he's no Broken Matt. I hope they go back to that. The Best Man Miro. I gotta be honest. I hate Miro. Like he's supposed to be built like a big monster heel and destroy everybody, but overall, I just see a fucking big fat crybaby that whines about video games, is in the same storyline that he was in WWE, and he thinks it's better, even though it's not. It's actually worse. And then he's arguing with Jim Cornette. It's just so fucking stupid with these people. So honestly, get rid of Miro. He has proven to us that he's just no good. MJF. Now I don't know if this guy's a legit prick in real life, but if he is, fuck him. But overall, he has done some of the best work in AEW. I think he's the first person who naturally got over in AEW who wasn't really an established superstar. So I'm glad that it showed us that they're willing to build up new stars. And MJF, even though he's not the AEW World Champion, he will be. Trust me. 1 second. Computer's dying, so I gotta charge this bad boy up. There we go, much better. So, next up, ooh boy. I'll wait for the Young Bucks when I get to Nick Jackson, but Matt Seidel. Fire Matt Seidel. He's just a shell of his former self, Evan Bourne. He's just a guy who just botches all the time. Yes, he's famous for that shitty ass botch, but he's gotten worse and worse and worse. So just fire him. Fuck Matt Seidel. He's still on drugs. Fuck him. Max Caster from the Acclaim. Now I know what they're doing with him. They're basically parodying John Cena with him, but it kind of works. I kind of like it. I'd keep him. He could be very entertaining, but this whole Acclaim thing, I don't know what it is, but fire it. Get rid of the Acclaim. Just do Max Caster on his own. He doesn't need a faction. Michael Nakazawa, a guy who we haven't seen in since the opening of AEW. I don't even know this guy still has a job. Just fire him. Like, goddamn, you got rid of Jimmy Havoc. You get rid of Michael Nakazawa. I don't give a fuck who he's friends with. Yeah, that's the problem with AEW. They don't admit when people suck. They are too scared to tell their friends that they blow at being entertaining and professional wrestlers. It's just the fact. Young Bucks, I like them a lot. Their heel turn was great. I don't have any problem with the Young Bucks. Maybe from time to time they do call out WWE, but it's rare. It's not like as bad as Cody or Omega. Page doesn't give a shit. He's probably the best part of the Elite, or the original Elite. But Young Bucks, they're doing some great work. They're weird. It's weird seeing them as champions. Even in New Japan, they were always better at chasing the belts than being the champions. But I'm excited to see. Hopefully, they get better tag teams that are willing to put them. And AEW is popular for the tag team division, so please make the Young Bucks have great matches once again. Please, that's all I'm asking for. Orange Cassidy. Now, this guy was originally one of the best talents out there. He still is. He's a great worker, but I feel like he lost his spark ever since he started wrestling too much. Like, he should really only wrestle at least 7 times a year. 7 times a year, 8 times a year at best. Because the whole gimmick of him is that he's lazy and he doesn't really like to wrestle or do anything. And over time, he just started wrestling more and more. His match with Chris Jericho, the very first one, was good. But then they kept doing it and doing it and doing it to the point that it just lost its spark. And that even though Orange Cassidy won, it really hurt him because it was just not the same Orange Cassidy that we all loved. And I don't know, it's gonna be hard. I still think he's a fantastic worker, but yeah, they should stick to his whole like I don't really want to wrestle. I'm just kind of here minding my own business. That was what made him work, and after a while, all of his matches started feeling the same. So just tone down like him wrestling. The less we see of Orange Cassidy, the better. Because then when he does wrestle, it's like, oh shit, he's gonna wrestle. What's he gonna do? So keep that in mind, AEW. You're doing a great job with Orange Cassidy, but that's a little critique that I could see work better. Santana and Ortiz, uh, proud and powerful. I like proud and powerful. I kind of wish that they did things on their own instead of just relying on the inner circle. That's a faction that could honestly do the best. Like when they separate LAX, inner circle, proud and powerful, whatever you want to call them. They're great. So yeah, keep them the same way. Make them brawlers, make them badasses, and yeah, you're good with these guys. Pack the bastard. I don't like Death Triangle. I never did. So just make Pac a single star. Hell, if Lance Archer doesn't beat Darby Allen, Pac will definitely be the one to dethrone him. I really like the work that Pac is doing on his own. His team with Phoenix is kind of lame and it just makes no sense. They just felt like three people thrown in together for no reason that didn't really need to happen just because. But Pac, hopefully he comes back up. It's gonna be hard because he's been gone for as long as he has. So hopefully he'll bring his spark back up. The Big Show, I think he's just a commentator. I don't know why he's in the wrestling uh, part of it, but Paul White, if he's gonna wrestle, like let's see what he could do. I'm interested to see what he does if he wrestles. Penta El Cero Miedo. I was always a massive fan of Penta El Cero Miedo. I'm glad that they're doing singles work with him. He is honestly better as a single star. Same with Ray Phoenix. And honestly, he is the most likely out of Death Triangle to be a world champion out of the three. That's just my opinion. He has great mic skills. I know that people don't like other language mic skills, but I understand what Penta is saying. So to me, it's great. And yeah, I just love the guy's work. He was awesome as Pentagon Jr. in Lucha Underground, obviously. So I know that this guy's got it. He just needs to win more and stop jobbing out to Cody. God damn it. Peter Avalon, he was originally that Liberian. He's a fantastic jobber. Keep him as a jobber, and I think we should be good. Powerhouse Hobbs from Team Taz. I like him. I would have replaced Powerhouse Hobbs with Willie Mack. Remember him? I think he's in Impact right now, but I'm at least happy that they're pushing different styles. He looks like a ripped dude that could wrestle. So I can't really complain about that. So Powerhouse Hobbs, good job. Preston Vance 10 from the Dark Order. Now you're probably gonna think, oh, get rid of him. Honestly, if you keep him with Brody Lee Jr., I think you're set because he could be the next singles babyface. We might see an underdog talent. Like he did some good work in that 6-man tag for Brody Lee's tribute. It was him, Cassidy, and Cody versus Team Taz. That was a great match. Obviously for the tribute, but this guy really stands out. And if you book him like as the one following Brody Lee Jr., then I think you have something in him. I've suggested that it should have been him and not Max Caster in the ladder match. So come on, do something with him. I guarantee you, he can do some good work. QT Marshall, I think I've bashed this guy enough. Just keep him as a manager, make him manage what's his face, Ethan Page, and I think we're set. Because this guy, let's be honest, he fucking sucks in the ring. It was proven in the Natural Nightmares the guy was never that good in the ring, anyways. Ray Phoenix, geez, this man is just a high flyer. He's just a great talent. It's kind of hard because Ray Phoenix is kind of stuck where we have all these other fantastic workers that Ray Phoenix still needs to find himself. But once he gets out of the Death Triangle, oh, there's no stopping him. He's going to be a great mid card talent, bar none. Ricky Starks, he's probably the punching bag of Team Taz, but he still looks great. He is very charismatic. He's basically a taller, better version of Dolph Ziggler. If you get that out of Ricky Starks, then I think he did a good job. So, and I'm talking about 2012 Dolph Ziggler. I'm not talking about current Dolph Ziggler. That guy sucks. Sammy Guevara. I thought this guy was gonna be fired, honestly, after that comment and how cancel culture works. I'm a little happy that he's not fired, but I don't know why. But Sammy Guevara, he's definitely a guy who will fail from the inner circle once that staple or storyline dies. Uh, I don't know. Maybe give him a break and then see where what you got for him. Just give him a bit of a break, and maybe down the road we'll like him over time. Sean Dean looks generic, bland. Don't like him. Move on. Get rid of him. Sean Spears. Now he has been pretty lame. Even in the penalty or the pinnacle. My bad. Uh yeah, he's still basically a heel version of Ty Dillinger, like with the 10 gimmick and everything. And he's the one that wrestles the least out of the Pinnacle. And I don't know if he's injured or what's the story, but yeah, I just maybe down the road they book him like stronger down the road. But I do like Sean Spears. He definitely has talent. It's just they're not really using him. And I mean, maybe deep down they really just don't see anything in him, same way WWE didn't. So that's up to me. That's up to y'all to decide what you think about Sean Spears. Sunny Kiss. Um, Honestly, not that bad in the ring, but you can see why this person would be very hated and why no one would really care for this character. But Sunny Kiss does, like I said, not bad in the ring, but yes, I think he's just meant for having a couple of getting squashed by a couple of people. But he does have a presence, obviously, but it's a matter of time of how they use him. Sting, he's really just there to make Darby Allen even better and help him out. So that's good enough for me. Sting, welcome to pro wrestling. Like, welcome back to the ring. That's what I should say. Stu Grayson, he's all right. He's not bad. Out of the Dark Order tag team, Stu and Evil Uno are my least favorite, but they're still okay. They're not that bad. Um, Honestly, I'd get rid of Stu Grayson. There's what is there left to do? Part of the Dark Order is that they have too many people, and then they're kind of like a bunch of jobbers. Some people have potential. Like I said, 10 Cole Cabana, maybe down the road they have potential, but yeah, Stu Grayson. I don't see anything with this guy 5-10 year, even next year. Where do you see Stu Grayson doing next year exactly? Butcher and the Blade. This is a very underrated tag team. These guys could be AEW tag team champions, and you wouldn't complain. They would just be great brawlers. Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny, fantastic work. These guys are just perfect for these. They're just cool. I like them, so can't really say anything bad about them. I already talked about the best friends with Trent. Out of the men's, finally we get to Wardlow. Uh, he's all right. I think they're trying too hard to make him a strong. He's essentially Test from WWF, where they put him in big storylines, but where is he really going? Um, Hopefully, I'm proven wrong. He's doing good jobs, good work. The F10 has gotten him very over, so I'm glad that there's that. But yeah, I can't really complain about Wardlow. He's all right. On to the women. Abaddon. Cool zombie-ish character, living dead girl. Abaddon. I like Abaddon. I wish they booked her more stronger. Like, part of the women's division, why it fails is because it's like you'll see them every other 5 weeks, and it's just not hurting them. Like, you need to spread these women's matches out. Part of honestly what could have made them better than the WWE women's division is to have different characters each and every time. Like, you have your powerhouse Nyla Rose, you have your creepy zombie Abaddon, you have Brie Priestley, the alien, the Doctor Brit Baker. Like, you need to build these characters. You need like at least 5 women that you're constantly building up, and then helping out the rest of them. But Abaddon could definitely be one of those. Ali, I don't know who this is. I think she's injured, but she really wasn't doing anything, so I can't really say anything. I guess fire her. Sorry. Anna Jay from the Dark Order. I didn't even know she was part of the Dark Order. Uh, I'm sorry. Don't see anything. Sorry. Out. Awesome Kong hasn't done anything in 2 years, and she's still under contract. I know she's working on a movie, or she's still part of Glow. I think it got renewed after all the backlash Netflix got, but I guess it's getting renewed, which is great for me because I've always wanted to review Glow on this channel. But what's the point? We already have, not to be comparison anybody, but Nyla Rose and Awesome Kong are basically the same character. Two big women beating the shit out of everybody. They're the same character, and I think Nyla Rose has more potential of being a brand new and developed star than Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong has done all of the work she's done possible. There's really nothing else to do, and the Nightmare Collective storyline is dead anyways. So who cares? Big Swole, I like her. I wish they did more with her. Like, she just kind of disappeared, and she just looks badass. Like, picture like Lita in a way. Like, her presence is similar to Lita, so I like Big Swole. So keep her. Brandy Rhodes, keep her as a manager. I think that's what they're doing because Brandy Rhodes fucking sucks in the ring, and everybody knows this. Dr. Britt Baker, the best part of the women's division right now, behind Thunder Rosa, but she's not in this list. Uh, yeah, give her the belt soon. Otherwise, I'm just gonna lose it. If she does not become AEW Women's Champion by the end of this year, then I'm really done with AEW. Because what the hell are they doing? Yeah, put the belt on Britt Baker. Trust me, people will give a shit about the women's division. She is kind of a bitch, I will say this. Brit Baker calling out Mick Foley after being complimented. Brit Baker, shut the fuck up on Twitter. Like, that's the problem with some of these great wrestlers. They're great wrestlers, but they just do not know when to shut the fuck up on Twitter. And Brit Baker is one of them. Emi Sakura, I don't know who this is. I really don't care. Moving on. Hikaru Shida, she's honestly a great champion, but she does need to drop her pretty soon. She's overstated her welcome as a NX or AEW Women's Champion. It's time to put the belt on somebody else. Like I said, Britt Baker, great option. Jade Cargill, I'm glad that they're building up somebody new, and she did a great job in that mixed tag team match with Shaq and Cody. She was a highlight. She definitely stood out on her own, so I can't really complain about that. So, yes, keep Jade Cargill. Maybe she'll be the one to dethrone Hikaru Shida. Who knows? Chris Statlander, I know she can't really travel and she can't do anything. And, I like the alien gimmick, but it's different. It's new. And, yeah, I just fire her. I'm sorry. What is there left for her to do? Leva Bates. For those of you who do not know who this is Blue Pants from NXT. Leva Bates got over as Blue Pants, but now that they put her to wrestle, give her a shitty gimmick, yeah, get rid of her. She's so annoying. And she's not even with Peter, whatever the fuck his name is, Peter Avalon. They're not together anymore, so who cares? Get rid of Leva Bates. She sucks. Layla Hirsch, who the fuck is this? Apparently she has a lot of matches that no one's ever seen, so. But I really don't care. She looks bland. Don't care. Out. Mel, out. What is she? Trying to be Serena? She hasn't even been in TV all of 2021, so who gives a shit? Nyla Rose, like I said, I like Nyla Rose. At this point, she could just wrestle men. Honestly, what is there left for her to do? Imagine her facing Lance Archer and all these other guys. Hell, she could be part of Team Taz, and I wouldn't complain. Nyla Rose, I actually like Nyla Rose. I know a lot of people hate her, but that's because they keep putting her with Hikaru Shida. They're moving on to something else, and I'm loving it. Do something good with Nyla Rose, and I guarantee you have a star there. Penelope Ford, she's actually a better wrestler than Kip Sapien. I'm not complaining. Keep her there. Red Velvet, she's a great underdog. Keep her as a great underdog and do your and build her up. And she could honestly give her the same storyline as your typical underdogs like Rey Mysterio, Daniel Bryan. She'll get over. Trust me. Riho. Riho, I know they don't want to fire the first ever AEW Women's Champion, but she has proven that she fucking sucks. Maybe they could build her up again, but it's gonna take a while for people to get over the fact that she was a terrible AEW Women's Champion. So it'll just take some work. She's not a bad wrestler. She's just really bland and generic. And at least Hikaru Shida has a personality, and she's great on the mic. Serena Deeb, glad that she got a contract. Hopefully Thunder Rosa signs in as well. But Serena Deeb, she is a star. Great story, great background. Everything about her looks like a star. So keep Serena Deeb. That's another talent that you cannot miss out on. Shauna, Portugal's favorite athlete, looks bland. Don't care. Out. Ty Conti, cute. She could do something. I guess a lot. She gets a lot of fan base. I think she has a bit of a cult following, so I guess keep her. I don't really see anything. And then Yuka Sakazaki. I think she wrestled Hikaru Shida, or maybe it was somebody else, but she's not bad. I think she's good, not great. She could do some work better, but I think she'll get the gist of it. So that's it. I'll skip managers because this video is too damn long. But yeah, that's really my opinion. Whoever I said get rid of, it's time to clean out this roster. There's a lot of guys that are pretty generic and bland, and no one really gives a fuck about them unless they give them a character. And there's too many factions. There's too much stuff going on. If you clean out this roster, and then you get guys like Samoa Joe, the Iconics, who else got fired? No, don't get Tucker. Yeah, Bo Dallas. That would be great. But yeah, just clean out the roster, change it up a bit, and just build your stars up, do less factions. And I guarantee you, if you follow those rules, I guarantee you people will appreciate AEW just a little bit more. It's me, the ALEXX. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And until then, I'm out.